Hi, everyone, and welcome to Mind Power Monday. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm Melanie Robinson, and I'm a real estate investor, just like the rest of you. I'm sure you're getting tired of hearing me introduce myself. But we've done several different strategies over the years, and at the moment we're actually working on a project in Abbotsford, renovation and building a fourplex over in Nanaimo. But those things feel a little bit sort of um, as an aside from everything that we have going on in the world right now. So I will share with you why, as a real estate investor, I am here sharing Mind Power Mondays. Hi, Corey and Tiffany, Raymond, Gord. I am going to do my best today to actually look at the comments because I'm feeling like now more than ever, I really do. Thanks, Ray. I really do want to be able to answer your questions if anything comes up as I'm sharing because really, as always, I kind of tune in and figure out what I'm compelled to share. And I just want to make sure that I am being of service and that I can support you all in the mind power aspect of things. So as you all know, hey, Corey and Tiffany, I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's Tiffany, but anyhow, so I am a master practitioner of NLP. That's where all of this foundation comes in. We have a family business that I joined back in 2000, where we offered both personal and corporate training, coaching, and consulting, but mostly with really successful business people who wanted to take things to the next level and recognized that what was stopping them was those mind skills, and then it was themselves that were blocking them from that next level. So that's what I spent the last 20 years doing, and super excited to be sharing those things with you here as real estate investors. But again, at this point in time, it's really sharing with you as people because I really do want to be of service. I want to be here sharing something that's going to help you feel better. And this, for me, is all about that aspect of things, especially right now. I mean, I always want to help you in building your success in your business and in your life. And right now, I think the focus is really on how can we be the best that we can be? How can we feel as good as we can feel? And how can we get through this time and really harness our mind to do so? So in some ways, now more than ever, these mind power skills, taking control of your mind, is more important than ever. And if we can harness these skills now, then imagine what will happen when we come through the other side of this and this becomes sort of second nature to you to be paying attention to your mind. So some of you did, I'm going to scroll here again. This is going to be a new for me. Look at all the comments. See, they don't show up automatically for me, which is interesting, but hi everyone. Hi. Yeah, it's Tiff. Perfect. Great. Tisha, you made it for the first time. That's great. Okay, so please, I will do my best to scroll because if there's anything that's on your mind, anything that you're struggling with specifically that you think from a mindset, from a mental skills, mind power perspective that I might be able to support you, please put it in there or afterwards send me a message. I am really, really wanting to be of service. I really want to share with you in a way that's going to help you. So what I'll do is I'll address some of the comments that people were so kind as to share last night. I did get a couple of private messages, and then in the comments for ways that I could support you today. Obviously, there's a lot going on in the world. I mean, we don't need to go through all of that. But what I want to do is support you in feeling as good as you can feel, because while you're at home on your own, not to say there's nothing going on, because I don't want to minimize that, but we're going to analyze, take a look at the benefit of how much do we want to pay attention to that, and how much do we want to sort of live in our little bubble and do what we need to do or want to do to feel as good as we can. So that's sort of the debate in my mind. I've been a person who's never watched the news before. And that is, a downside when you're out in the world, because you can't have these brilliant, educated conversations with people about politics and everything that's going on. But I really have made the choice that I want to feel good and happy, and I don't want to live in doom and gloom. And therefore, I made the conscious choice not to watch the news. And I felt like if there was something that I was going to actually make a difference in, and I was going to be proactive, then yes, that's important to pay attention to, because I'm paying attention so that I can do something about it. But if I'm watching it just to feel down and bad, well, then what's the positive purpose in that? If I'm not doing anything to make it better in the world, what's the purpose? So that's just a little bit about me. Having said that, I actually have been paying attention to the news. And then the question right now, because it's directly affecting everybody everywhere, and it would be ignorant, in my opinion, not to. And so the question then becomes, how much do you pay attention, and how often do you tune in? And that really is a personal choice based on how it's affecting you and how much knowledge you feel like you need to have. I'm going to take a quick look here. I love you all so much. I'm just so honored to be here sharing as well, and at a time where it's so meaningful. I can't tell you from a personal, selfish perspective how grateful I am that what I care so deeply about have a way of making a difference in the world through challenging times. So thank you to everyone. I'm just looking to see if there's any questions, but yeah, it's looking okay. So I'll just carry on for now. But yeah, it's really paying attention. So I think a lot of what I want to share with you today is there is no answer. There is no right or wrong. Each of us needs to learn to tune into ourselves and find out what is best for us based on how we're feeling. So yeah, we need to stay on top of things. We need to know what the government is doing. We need to know what our requirements are. We need to know how much at risk we are and how to stay safe and all of those things. But then there comes a point where we know enough to know, as an example, that we need to stay home and that we need to wash our hands and be aware, and we need to practice social distancing and all of those things. And once we know that, then my question becomes, how beneficial is it for you to continue, like to be watching over and over again? Because what is that doing inside your own body? So for me, this is really about taking care of your own well-being. This is you, nobody else. And this is you deciding for you what is going to work for you to get through this time. So if your goal is to feel as good as you can feel, if your goal is to learn to take control of your internal environment, then you have to make choices. We all have to make choices in order to accomplish that or take charge of that. So one of the questions that came up was, how can I be a leader during these challenging times? How do I know if what I'm sharing as a leader is sort of valid? I was trying to look for the wording. How do I know that what I'm sharing is actually sound advice, information? And what about if everybody in my world is relying on me? So without knowing the specifics of that, my answer to that is being a leader, and I'm going to take it at the moment in your own home, because we're all home for the most part, and having that role within our homes. I would say that we really, again, want to focus on being the best version of us that we can be, doing what we need to do to lead by example, being in control of our emotions, doing what we need to do to be calm, centered, and not in a state of panic. And that there in and of itself, in my mind, is being a leader in your home. So if you're operating from a state of panic, if running around frazzled and or living on sort of the brink of cracking because of everything that's going on, that is the example that you're setting out for your family. That is the example. That is what they are going to feel. And so again, I'm not minimizing anything that's actually going on outside. All I'm saying, the only reason I'm pointing this out, is because I've been teaching you guys skills for the last, I don't know how many. And these are all of the things that you can do now. This is a perfect opportunity, of course, in my opinion, and I'm a little bit biased, but this is the perfect opportunity for you while in your homes to start to really pay attention to what you're reading about, what you're watching, what you're thinking and saying to yourself, and how that directly creates how you're feeling. And then to take it one step further, you can notice directly from how you're feeling, how does that bring you or share you to the rest of the people that you're around? So you think something or you read something and it creates a feeling, and then you do something. You say something to somebody or you act in a certain way. Now that's leadership within your home. And here's an opportunity where we're not quite as busy as we normally are, where we actually can pay attention to that. Everything that I've shared with you about your thoughts creating how you feel, and how you feel creating how you come out in the world and how you share of yourself in the world. Now is the perfect opportunity to be paying attention to that. Because normally we sort of hide in our busy. We go from A to B to C to D all the way through the day, pay attention to how we're feeling, we pay attention to how that's spewing. Oh, well, guess what? Here's a beautiful opportunity for you to make the choice that you're going to pay attention to this now. You'll get that direct correlation. You'll get the perfect experiences of deciding when you're not going to read anymore, when you're not going to pay attention anymore, when you're going to take some time to get yourself centered. When you're going to learn how to do that. So that, in my opinion, is a huge benefit to right now. And not only is it a skill that you'll be building for when we get out the other side, but it's also an opportunity for you to get through this. It is taking control of your mental environment so that you're controlling how you feel, how you get through this. Because in the safety of your own home, you aren't out in it. You're in your home with the people that you love, for the most part, hopefully healthy and safe. So any feeling that you have is a feeling that you're creating by what you're choosing to think about. And bringing it back to that, being a leader. So that's my answer for being a leader in your home. And what you're sharing, every leader is only sharing what they believe to be the truth. It could be very untrue for many of us. So don't worry about what you're sharing and whether or not it is, of value. If it's sharing what you believe and it has a great intention and you're being the best version of you, then in my mind, you're being an amazing leader in your home. And that's going to go out into the community. That's going to go out in every Zoom call that you're doing while you're interacting with all those amazing people. And you will be that leader, but it all starts with you. And now more than ever, we're being faced with that. So I'm going to take a minute here and see if I can solve it. Clearly, I'm not able to do both at the same time, even though I challenged myself. Okay, so here, any tips not to eat when feeling worried, panicked, or fearful? I'm trying, but finding myself going to food, which is I try to calm. Great question. So again, all I can suggest for you is that when you notice, so you're going to food or whatever it might be for somebody, I don't think very many people smoke these days, but whatever vice it may be, whether it's food, whether it's drinking or whatever, I think what it's important to recognize is there's a feeling that's causing you to reach out for that thing. So there's a couple of different pieces of advice that I would have. Number one is, again, we're really used to having a feeling and trying to get rid of it. Like by eating or by busying ourselves. I think that's a huge one. And in a productive group like this, I think busying ourselves and being super productive, which is something I really want to remember to bring up in a few minutes. But I would say you want to sit with that feeling and then use your mind. Think of something else. So replace that feeling by creating another feeling, but by doing that with thinking about something that fits you. So that could be, just a happy thought to change that. But that could also be connecting to some kind of goal in the future. You could also do really fun things like interrupting that pattern with who knows what. I mean, there's a million different ideas, but deciding every time you want to go grab food, you're going to jump down and do 5 push-ups. I mean, something fun, something silly, something to interrupt the pattern, because the pattern is, I feel this, I go and do this. I feel this, I go and do this. And you want to interrupt that with a new healthy strategy. So that can be taking a minute to focus on your breathing. That can be, like I say, doing something silly like burpees or push-ups or running around in circles. That can be, doing a quick meditation. That can be connecting to your why and closing your eyes. And, you want to do something to change that, again, that chemical makeup that's going in your body and interrupt that strategy. So Ray, does that help you in some way? I'm going to see and I'll go back. But hopefully that's helpful in some way. This is, when I used to help people quit smoking, it was whenever they had the desire to have a cigarette, they would stop, close their eyes, and connect with their vision out in the future as being a non-smoker. So it is making that choice. And that's the big thing. It's acknowledging, okay, so I'm eating more than I want to. I'm turning for food for comfort. So I'm going to pick something new to take comfort in, but I'm going to commit to myself when I get that feeling, before I get up and I go and I find a snack, I am going to close my eyes, or I'm going to do this. And it really is a decision. So let me see. Okay. So hopefully that helps. And Ray, reach out anytime. I'm happy to have a conversation with you. I think for all of us, whether it's feeling anxious, whether it's that we're eating, whether it's that we're living in fear, whether it's that we're questioning things, whatever that might be, fortunately and unfortunately, the answer is the same. We create an internal environment. And so we need to learn to take charge of that. And myself included, a few different lives that I did over the weekend. I mean, I'm not immune to this, and I know that I train it. I'm a certified master practitioner of NLP. I've been working with individuals. I, in theory, one would think, would live in this place of harmony inside, but I don't, because I'm human. It's all of us committed to ourselves are going to take control. When we notice that we're feeling something, we're going to do something to feel different. So just a quick roll back up. I apologize for the delay, but I do really want to, and yes, Corey, now is the time where everybody's asking, what can we do to, fill our time? And people are being amazingly productive in filling their time and getting stuff done that they haven't taken the time to do before. And I really urge you, as much as that's amazing and fantastic and good for you, a couple of things on that. We rarely have the time to focus on our internal being, on our personal development, on our personal growth, on learning to harness your mind, on meditation or different skills. We feel that we don't have the time because we're too busy and we keep doing. And what I'm noticing is so many people are here and having this time and so proud of all that they're doing and accomplishing. And again, as much as I think that's amazing, I urge you to stop long enough to really check in. What is the best use of your time right now? And in my opinion, and I know I'm super biased, but I honestly believe it in every cell of my body, harnessing the power of your mind, really understanding that connection between what you're thinking about and how you feel, playing with that, noticing like I said earlier, when I read this, I feel this. When I talk to this friend, I feel this. Oh, but when I do this and I think about that, I feel this. Getting that connection, playing with it, now you actually have time to do that. Now is the time to harness that, to play with it, to recognize that connection that I've been sharing with you for weeks and weeks. The connection is there. It's scientific. It's real. And once you recognize it and start to play with it and take control of it, that's where the power lies. Because again, nothing is happening to you in your home. So you should have the ability, for the most part, to feel quite safe and good by using your mind and your skills. I think of people that were stuck in concentration camps and they used their mind to get through it. Our mind is crazy powerful. I will stop saying the same thing over and But I'm just going to read a little bit here to see if I can share anything, and then I'll move on to what I wanted to share. I do want to be mindful of how much of your time I'm taking up. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, funny motivation. I see Gord without reading this. Is maybe something I'll talk about on it in another week. I was going to touch on that today, but I have so much that I want to share with you all. I feel like I could do 10 of these in a day and just share everything that comes to mind, because you're in my mind and hearts all day long, or in my mind and in my heart. Okay, so yes, seeking comfort, shock. I mean, I think it's an opportunity, and I don't want to be somebody who just preaches positivity without recognizing and honoring the realness in everything in life, whatever challenges we face, whether it's personally. I mean, right now we share the but I'm one to, I don't want to minimize that and pretend that life is all rainbows and butterflies and you just control your thoughts and you just feel amazing and there's no reason to feel anything but. I don't live my life that way. What I feel is that these feelings and these emotions are real. They're real. They're part of our human existence. And right now there's some real stuff going on, but I still want to feel as good as I can feel. So I want to utilize my mind. I want to use the skills I have to control my internal environment. I want to interrupt those patterns that I've been doing for years and years, my automatic go-to. I think we really are used to just stuffing down our emotions, stuffing down our feelings, hiding that feeling with doing another productive thing, getting something else done so we can feel good. But it doesn't take the problem away, and it doesn't teach us how to, how to do these things. That's not skill-based in my opinion. And so now's the time. Okay, yes, I do want to talk about and that came up in the comments as well. So let's talk about that right now, which is taking time to take inventory of your friends and contacts. So, I think you actually mean something else. So I'm going to address it. So yes, really good opportunity to check in with those people that you care about and see how they're doing. Another piece of that, and Tiffany, this came out of your comment, is, how do we support people in here without getting stuck in that fear? And that's a really beautiful question and, really an important life skill. And so a couple of things. One is I would urge you to pay attention to who you surround yourself with right now, even via Zoom and via Facebook, and who you're following and all that kind of stuff, because there are a lot of people who are living in fear and who don't want to do it any other way. And that's okay. That's the way they're handled. And I'm not one to want to sort of convert people over to this way of thinking. I just want to support those people who really do want to feel differently. So are people who do want to feel differently and don't want to live in fear. My suggestion would be to share with them what you're learning about the mind, to share with them the impact of that their thoughts have on how they feel, how you're really committing to paying attention to that and taking control of that you're fascinated by it, that you're loving learning it, and you're really loving recognizing that, that you take control of your thoughts and that changes how you feel, and sharing that aspect with them, and then kind of making the agreement together that you can support each other in living in that way. So again, it's fine because you demise the fear that your friends are facing, because we're all facing it and it's all real. So it's, how do you honor that? How do you honor that and honor yourself, like you said, without living in it? And I would say is to share with them what you're learning, and that you're really wanting to focus, not on the fear aspect, but focus on the things that you can, and create an internal environment that is happy and healthy and thriving in amongst this chaos, and thinking about those happy thoughts, me behind the surfboard, or when, skipping along the trail with my kids, or whatever it is that brings me joy, helping them come up with that thought. So guiding them in that way, if they're people who want to live feeling better. If they're not, I would say limit your contact in some way. If there's somebody who you want to limit your contact with, hopefully I can articulate this. And again, anybody feel free to message me and I can explain further. But in the NLP world, this is I'm not sure the whole idea with you, but there's kind of different perspectives. We're all familiar with perspectives. So first position or first perspective, when you're in first position, you're in your own body and you're communicating with that person. So you really are feeling what they're sharing with you. Second position is going into their body. Actually, well, it doesn't matter whether it's second position or third position. Position is to be in their body, see things through their eyes. But here's the one that's really helpful. It's a fly on the wall, and I think it is second position, actually. I should have said that before I started talking. But if you go into second position, you're like a fly on the wall. So you are like a fly on the wall looking down on a conversation that's happening between you and your friend. So you're dissociated. So you're out here, you can hear them, you can hear the conversation, you can share, but you're not in the emotion of it. So that's something, I know I can't go into too much detail here, but that is a skill that would be really, really helpful in situations like that. So if you're communicating with someone, you don't want to get into the feeling, but you do want to allow them to share and vent. I would urge you to not do it for too long, but you can go to second position. And literally what that is, it is imagining yourself basically floating out of your body and being a fly on the wall, looking down at the two of you. So you're removing yourself from the emotion. You're able to listen to that conversation without feeling it. So that's a little tip that all of us use as well when we're faced with having conversations with people that we care about that maybe aren't so positive. So you can support them through the fear. But then as quickly as you can, while honoring them, I would say go over to what you're learning and how you're really wanting to create your own internal environment and focus on your goals and your thoughts and all to feel. So I'm just going to, I know that it's been, goodness, 26 minutes, so I shouldn't take up more of your time. So let's just recap what we've shared so far. Okay. So what we talked about, again, is being a leader in your own home, and that comes down to you. And just be the best you can be. Take care of yourself. Something else I wanted to say is don't compare yourself to everybody else who's getting 5,000 things done. Whatever you feel is right in supporting you, do that. And maybe it is a good idea to just stop and be for a bit. Be with emotions, play with the connection between your thoughts and how you're feeling. If you don't slow down and you just get everything done on your to-do list, you aren't going to really learn to harness the power of your mind. This is a beautiful, perfect opportunity. It's a beautiful one for yourself that will come out over into your family, all of the conversations with people. And so that's really what I would say. And good for you if you are accomplishing a million things, and maybe it's a balance between both. But I urge you to take the time to really recognize, take control of your internal environment. Meditation is a huge thing as well. I don't know how many of you are comfortable with meditation. I am going to put in the link a meditation that my mom created, a guided visualization. It's amazing. It's a free download, and I would love to share it with all of you. I don't have time to give you the backstory right now, but it's an incredible story that maybe I'll pop on. Maybe I'll do a separate little live at some point, share with you the tiny little backstory and share the link so that anybody who wants to play with guided visualization can. This will be another tool for you. And yeah, I think that's everything. You're amazing. We get through this together. I'm super powerful. This is an opportunity to see firsthand, like we couldn't have a bigger opportunity to be inundated with things and learn to take control of our internal environment regardless of what's going on around us. It's okay that you feel fear. It's okay that you're struggling with it, whatever it is that you're struggling with. You're human. And we have skills and we're amazing and we're powerful and we can get through these things. And when nothing is specifically happening to us in a moment, we can and feel good by focusing on something different. So it all comes down to the same stuff. It's a truth. It's science. It's powerful. It's easy. It's hard at the same time. It's all of this. I'm really, truly honored reach me. Anything that I can do to help you, anything specific that you're going through, please reach out. We're in this together, and you guys are all amazing. And I look forward to seeing you next week on Mind Power Monday. Take care, everyone, and please reach out to me. I would love to chat. Alrighty, everyone, have a great week. I will share that guided visualization with you, and you guys are all amazing, and I know you're going to have some amazing stories to share with me on how you took control of your mind power. Alrighty, great day, everyone. Bye.